All right, y'all, welcome back to the Mesh. Today I have somebody who's the boss. I'm talking about the boss in every way possible. Boss at work, boss here. But today we're just gonna get to know the career side of her and just her life story, how she got to the point where she is today. Let's get into it. Okay, boss lady in the building, energy check. So you lead a team at Google, right? So like, what is that? Like, what do you do?
I am a user experience manager, so I lead a team of designers because we help build products for people. And we actually think about how people interact with what we're building and we design around that.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so like you've helped design about some of the products I use today. Like, can you name some products out there that you've worked on?
Well, I've have worked on search. I also have worked on a product called Discover. If you have an Android phone and if you swipe all the way to the left, it's a feed. If you have an iPhone and you have the search app and you're on the page of the search app, it's also the feed on that. I've also designed and helped build the tablet,
Oh my God.
the Pixel tablet, and I've also worked on the Google Store. So it's the store that we sell our hardware products, our Pixel phones, tablets, watches, all those things. And then right now I'm working on a product called Fi. So Google has its own wireless program, and that's what I work on.
Pixel? Wow, that's awesome. Because my dad likes that phone. He
Really?
liked it so much. He got one. He has an iPhone and the Pixel. I'm like, wow, that's
Okay.
awesome. I did not know that.
I mean, brag about the camera is the best.
The camera. Okay, so should I get one for this podcast? Like a
Should.
Pixel phone?
Actually, we've recorded some videos for work using Pixel phones, and they're going to be published on the website soon. But usually, you have production companies that come and they use like these cameras, Pixel phones, and not on other cameras.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'll send them.
Okay. I'm gonna have to see that. Okay.
Yeah.
So quick fire.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, Texas, California, rank them by snacks, weather, and people.
What do you mean, like snacks? What's the best snacks?
Yeah, like best snack in Puerto Rico, best snack in Germany, best snack in
Oh,
Texas.
best snack.
So
in
who has
Puerto
the best
Rico?
snacks? Let's start with the snacks. Who has the best snack? Germany, Puerto Rico, or Texas?
I would say snacks. It is a tie between Puerto Rico and Germany.
Okay, so Texas is completely out.
Texas is out. Snacks, food in both Germany and Puerto Rico is like my comfort area and the best food and high quality. Yeah.
Okay, so for context, can you tell them what you are, your ethnicity?
I'm Puerto Rican, but I grew up in Germany, and so then I went to American school. So yeah, I'm a mix of all those
Germany
things.
and Puerto Rico, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So I know you didn't want this there, but adult braces, we need to talk about it. So like, when did you have that? And did you have it on when we first met?
No,
Okay.
I think I was 40 years old and I went to the orthodontist. I mean, I was like, I knew I needed braces, and I finally got them when I was 4, and I had them for 4 years. I actually interviewed for Google with braces on.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
thought, like, these people are not going to take me seriously
I feel like-
because I have.
Oh, because I feel like I would hire anybody with braces. Like, if you see somebody with braces and they're at an interview, I'll be like, okay, nerd. I will hire her. That's personally what I would think. That's why I'm like, that's a nerd and that's a hard worker. You know, like she doesn't care. She's here.
I remember feeling so ridiculous with braces on, and I had to interview at that time with Google. You had to do face to face. There was no, you didn't do it through Zoom or GVC or any of those things. And I flew in on a Sunday, interviewed on a Monday, and for their interviews, for my role, you do a presentation, and then you do 5 interviews with 5 different people.
Yeah.
Over different things. And I was like, I just remember feeling, well, I was really prepared. I really practiced and really thought about what I was going to present, and then my interview, what I was going to say. But I just remember thinking, I have braces on, and like, these people are not going to take me serious, but I'm just going to do my thing. And I think because I was so prepared and so like focused, for me at least, like I forgot I even had braces on.
I'm like, the braces wouldn't even matter because like I was just in LinkedIn. And I saw all of these accomplishments. So I feel like just seeing that probably propelled you in a position.
Yeah, but I guess when you're in your own shoes and you think you in your own head, sometimes you just think of like some of these things like races or outdoor appearances being important. Yeah, no, I worked really hard for to get where I'm at, and I worked really hard for that interview and like all the things I did before that, and even all the things that I've done at Google so far. So, yeah, you just stay focused and keep going. I think that really works well.
Oh yeah, that works well. Like considering now, like, oh my gosh. Okay, so we're about to enter into the hot seat Q&A, and we're gonna start with some unhinged questions, some funny questions. We're gonna get to serious one. And are you ready? Let's get into it. Which is more stressful, team's attitude or a UX design sprint?
Team's attitude.
Okay, for context, this is the mother of David. David is my best friend, and I know David, so I can understand why she says that. So that's very on point and very valid. David will come on a future podcast, and you will know exactly what she's talking about. Okay.
I also have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
David is like my son, second born, and then I have Loren, who's my firstborn.
Yeah.
They were both like, they're also a year apart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're babies together, teenagers together, and yeah, teenage.
Like, so like they had their birthdays in the same month.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Cause like I was last week, we were just at Lauren's birthday.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together until just now. Like,
and next week is David.
this actually tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
On 2 days and Thursdays, it'll be David's birthday.
And I almost said next week. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay. What's one thing your German childhood gave you that Texas living could never?
And the ability to I feel like I have the ability to understand people in a different way because I was just around so many different people and cultures, and I was able to travel to other parts of Europe at a very young age. And my parents actually encouraged that, and they would also plan all these trips on weekends, and we would go to Paris to Euro Disney for fun, and to the Black Forest on one day just to go check that out. And being able to experience different cultures and different aspects of different cultures was amazing because we did everything from hiking through the mountains to I went to a lot of museums and castles and things like that, and that was awesome.
Yeah, okay, that's dope. I like that. I've never heard that before. Okay, if you had to explain UX to your umbrella using only a banana, how would you do it?
Oh my gosh, my abuela is also my grandmother. Ooh. A banana. I don't know because most people don't know what it is that I do. But I guess banana?
Yes. You say UX is like user experience, right? So imagine the banana as a product, and then how would you go about explaining it to your umbrella? Let's just start off with your umbrella doesn't like the banana. What would you say to discover why she doesn't like the banana?
Well, yeah, you would if she didn't like it, then you'd have to find out why and why, what can you do better? But I mean, unfortunately, bananas are bananas.
Yes.
So they don't really change that much. And maybe she had a bad experience, and then maybe you change up how you put it. Maybe make a banana split instead of giving her a banana. But I don't know if that explains what UX is.
I feel like it kind of does because it's can we improve on the product? So how would we improve? So banana split is a weird way to spring it.
True.
Okay, so you did it right. Okay. What's your design hill to die on?
I guess the design hill that I would die on is that, and this is probably controversial with a lot of designers, is that you do need form and function. And what that means is that you need to things have to function.
Yeah.
Right? So you need that part of an experience of any product. But you also need form. You need the beauty. You need the aesthetics. You need to that pulls things together. And so I want the balance of both, and you can't do one without the other.
Yes, this is very real because you should see her house. It's very aesthetically pleasing, well put together, very nice. Yeah, she lives the way she works. What's something the young professionals get so wrong about good designs?
I think, speaking of form and function, I think that's one thing that people do get wrong. They think one way or the other, whether it's they put all the beauty on something, but then it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Or the other way around, it's all about how it works, and then they forget about how it actually looks. Because look is also how people feel about something. Because like you said, my house is very aesthetically pleasing. There is a feeling when you come inside the house, right?
Very homey.
Yeah, very homey. You have comfort. But you also have I don't know, my color palette is very neutral. So you feel it's very breathable. And all that is part of an experience that you're getting.
A lot of thought to go from getting just this couch alone. Okay?
Exactly. Well, and you're right. Because I think about these things, even you've come to see when we have get-togethers, and I think about what should people eat and where should the food go versus where you just don't throw it on the table, right? And all those things are things that you think about when you're thinking about the user experience.
Oh my gosh, okay, that's real. Okay, so you've never you didn't just pick up from being a boss lady like this and knew all these functions and everything like this. Who taught you to lead like this, the way you are now?
Well, this comes from many different things and many different people. I would say that when early on in my career, there wasn't a lot of women that helped me per se. I read a lot of books because there wasn't we also didn't have we were just building the internet, so it wasn't like we could plug into the internet and like find videos on YouTube or anything to understand this profession, or actually and this profession was just starting to also come together when
Yeah.
I started. So it was more about examples that you would find elsewhere. I think my family probably had a lot to do with that. You know, I was taught to work really hard. So it was not, it was more about like work through it versus you don't have all the answers, but like keep going and keep working through it. I think I've taken a little bit of leadership from different people, different other leaders I've met. I always, and everything I do, even today, I take the opportunity to learn from people, including like I manage a team, but like people on my team teach me things all the time. And I love that. I love to be around people that can teach me things. And it, like if you have that growth mindset, if you're open to that, like that takes you anywhere in life. And I tend to be that way, just taking bits and pieces from everything that I've learned and everybody that I interact with.
Okay, that's awesome. Real. Hey, message. Listen to it. So obviously not everything is nice and dandy all the time, you know? So what's your pet peeve in a meeting?
Just no agenda, not going like just going around in circles, not making
Mhm.
any sense. And I have a lot of these things that happen all the time. Not like, and actually, there's meetings that people schedule and there's no outcome to it, and so then don't put them, don't put it on my couch. Like I want to like come out of that meeting with like what something accomplished. Sometimes the accomplishment is
Okay,
a
so you like structure.
structure, but sometimes like the accomplishment can be as not like a hard outcome. It could be like a soft one, like you build a relationship with someone. Because sometimes you have a meeting with someone and it's about relationship building over like getting something done, and that's fine. But if we come out of a meeting and it's like
Nothing
nothing,
that happened.
yeah,
You left with nothing.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
that's real.
frustrating.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Well, dream redesign project. Okay, you gotta pick from these three:
Okay.
the DMV, a church website, or
Mm.
airplane boarding.
I would say DMV would be well, DMV would be the hardest because um they have Sator websites today. And actually, though, like the hardest ones are the ones that are fun to work on because
Mhm.
there's things to work through. I've seen a lot of good church websites actually. They're coming up in the world. And then airplane boarding, it's okay, but been there, done. Like a lot of them exist as well, but DMV needs a
The DMV.
yeah.
Okay, so
The whole
DMV.
process needs help. Like not just the website. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, just the sitting down and
Yeah.
waiting for your ticket. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so old fashioned.
But see, that's part where user experience needs people do think through that and
Yeah.
think about the experience of like someone coming in and like having to wait and like also waiting for months to get an appointment and all, like that's part of like what do we do to fix that experience for someone?
Okay,
That's
well, I
yeah.
think you should, hit up a few DMVs in the local area and help out. You have a
Well,
lot of people.
yeah.
Okay, so we're about to enter into our light game, this or that UX design
Okay.
edition. Okay, you ready? You pick Figma or whiteboard.
All right. First of all, let me explain Figma.
Yes, please.
Because I knew you were like, what is Figma? Figma is a software that we have in UX, and we use that to design experiences. I am okay in Figma. When I was also starting with UX, we didn't have tools. We actually made up tools sometimes. We actually used things like Photoshop to build websites,
Yeah.
which is weird to people now, but like we didn't have any other choices. Some people use paper, people used slide decks to build websites. Like I'm serious. This
That's
is how
crazy. Now I can just build a website in 2 seconds
yeah,
using AI.
I know, but
That's what I'm saying.
Figma is a really amazing tool to like help people design. I'm not a person that designs all day anymore like that, so I'm not as good at Figma. Whiteboard, I like, yeah, that's fast for me because I can just draw a bunch of things. But if you want to refine things, Figma is the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Figma it is. Okay, braces off or promotion at work?
Oh, well, of course, braces. The promotion at work.
Promotion at work?
Well, I'd already have my braces off, but yeah.
Okay. Promotion at work. She still want to go up. Okay, so solo design flow or big collab brainstorm?
I like the big collab brainstorm.
Okay.
I like working with other people. I think that the more people you get, you can do better brainstorming, better ideas. We do a lot of things called like, we do a lot of brainstorming and we do a lot of yes and. So like you think of an idea and then I say yes and I think an idea that would like either complement your idea or be more like it just keeps going, and then you can yes and my idea. So we do a lot of that, and then it just brings more like innovation to the table and helps you think a little bit more creatively. So, and I also think that different perspectives bring different things to the table.
Yeah.
So I see one perspective from where I live and what my mindset is, but then someone else that's completely different from me can come bring another mindset, and like bringing those two together can really bring innovative ideas.
Look, I'm about to use some of your tactics in my group projects at school.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, sometimes.
oh, it works. I'm serious.
Okay, I'm about to
Yeah.
use some of that at group projects at school. Okay, deadlines or unlimited time plus no direction.
Deadlines.
Deadlines.
If you have unlimited time, you're just never going to get it.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. That's how it is with school. I love to procrastinate. I just got to get out of a bad habit, but definitely deadlines are a great motivator to get things done. Vintage cowboy boots or futuristic Google slides?
Neither.
Neither.
How about designer shoes? You see my shoes.
I see your shoe collection. She got the drip, so definitely more designer.
More designer. I mean,
I could imagine you in boots actually.
I was like, I have a pair of cowboy boots, but they're designer.
Of course they are. Of course.
Isabel Marant. They're not.
Do y'all know who that is? Because I don't.
Designer. Yeah.
Okay, so that's real. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up wisdom in full circle.
Okay.
Well, like we got a few questions and we're gonna close out. When did you realize this was more than just a job?
I mean, when I was young, I always thought of, I always love designing, love art. In high school, I was one of my professors, he wasn't a professor, he was just a teacher, but not to minimize that. But he told us from when we were freshmen that art can be a career. And that was the first time I had heard that as a freshman in high school. But he did share with us things like, here's these colleges that offer these programs, and then you can go into these different careers. Now, UX was not one of them. User experience and this digital world was not a thing in 1993 when I was a freshman in 93. But he shared with us some motion design, because there was people doing film and all that kind of thing, photography. There's fine arts, so people doing painting, drawing, all that kind of stuff. There's fashion. I was interested in the fashion realm of things, but art school was very expensive. Like, it's still expensive today, but back then I couldn't even imagine, because it was like, I don't know, like $60,000 a year for to go to art school. So I knew I wasn't going to go in that path, but I knew I wanted to pursue a path in art and in this area of the field of work. But I didn't know about UX until I was at work, and like someone brought it to my attention, like, no, you're doing design stuff, because I was at the time doing print design work. And then they showed me this thing about like, hey, you can actually design digital experiences, but what you do is you actually talk to users and see if things are working for them, and then you design around those experiences and you make them better for them. And I was like, oh, that actually sounds really interesting. And when I learned that, I was hooked. But yeah.
So there's definitely some stuff I'm about to come to you about. I don't like a lot of things that Apple has going on in their phone, so I'm definitely gonna put some notes there.
I don't know if I have anything I could do with Apple.
I'll find something on Google. What advice do you never give to young designers?
I guess one thing I tell designers to avoid is ego. Like, stay humble all the time. Stay away from there are some designers that are super talented, and because the design world comes, there's a lot of people that can do a lot of things because it's part of their talent, right? It's part of like their gift, and so they make beautiful things, and there's an ego attached to that, and that is a dying hill. And that's, I guess, with anything, right? Like, if you just work off of ego, even seasoned designers do this.
Yeah.
So, but if you work off of ego, like, you lose opportunities to learn and to continue to grow and to be better. So I always tell the people to stay away from ego.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's real. How does your art show up in your leadership now? Okay, quick round. Who are you designing for right now?
I mean, I'm designing for Google. I'm designing wireless experiences, and there's a lot in store in the future that I cannot talk about. But
okay, I can't wait.
But watch out.
Okay, I can't wait. Okay, that's dope. Okay, closing words from you to anyone trying to find their voice in a room full of louder ones. So, what advice do you have?
This happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
when everyone is so loud in the room, sometimes it is okay to be quiet. I think one good tactic is staying quiet and looking for the right timing to actually, like, if people are talking over you, for example, and there's a lot, this happens a lot where there's a lot of voices, everyone has ideas or has thoughts and wants to have their opinion out there. And you have a really good thought and idea and something that you want to talk about, but there's just so many people talking. Timing and staying and listening to everything, but like finding the right space and time to express that is way louder than a bunch of people trying to talk over you and talk over each other. Sometimes that also comes in a way of like, if that's a meeting, then after the meeting you send an email out to that group and say, hey, by the way, I was thinking about XYZ. And that actually comes across a lot better than a bunch of people talking over you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you headed here first, guys. If you're in a room with a bunch of rowdy people, a nice email would do. Okay. Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
I want to close out here by saying thank you so much for coming to the podcast. Your story was beautiful and awesome and just motivating and just
I hope so.
I feel ambitious now. So
ambitious.
If you have any complaints about your experience on Google, please direct it to her. She will do something about it. But thank you so much for coming in here. You can say bye to the mesh.